Hey everyone, this is your host, and today we'll be reading from our special spooky season collection. Let's dive right in. The Hanging Tree. It was Halloween night in the early 90s. A group of us friends decided to visit the nearby cemetery, which was rumored to be haunted. As we were walking through the graveyard, we came across an old gnarled tree hanging over a freshly dug grave. The tree was massive, with thick branches that seemed to reach out like the arms of a giant skeletal hand. According to local legend, the tree was known as the Hanging Tree, and was said to have witnessed many atrocities during the Civil War. The legend went that the spirits of those who had been hanged from the tree were forever trapped there, doomed to wander the earth on Halloween night. Of course, being teenagers, we scoffed at these superstitious tales, that is until we started hearing strange noises coming from the tree. At first it was just a faint scratching sound, but then it grew louder, accompanied by whispers and what sounded like screams in the distance. Fear began to grip me as we stood there listening to the eerie sounds. My friends, however, remained skeptical. "It's probably just the wind," one of them said, trying to sound brave. But even he couldn't deny the prickling sensation on the back of his neck. Suddenly, the scratching stopped, and we heard heavy footsteps near the tree. My heart pounded in my chest as I turned to flee, but my foot caught on a protruding root, and I stumbled. The others scattered in different directions, each of us too afraid to turn back and face whatever was lurking in the shadows of the hanging tree. Running blindly, I fell down a steep embankment, scraping my palms and knees on the rough terrain. I looked back, terrified to see what had caused my friends and I to flee in such terror, and that's when I saw it. Emerging from the darkness, a tall, gaunt figure was standing at the edge of the tree. Its eyes glowed in eerie green in the moonlight. For a moment I locked eyes with the creature, and I felt a cold dread wash over me. I knew instinctively that I needed to get away from there fast. With renewed urgency, I scrambled to my feet and ran deeper into the forest. Branches whipped at my face, and I could hear the creature moving closer behind me. Adrenaline surged through my veins, and I didn't dare slow down. Finally, I burst out of the tree line and stumbled onto a dirt road. Glancing back, I saw that the creature had stopped at the edge of the forest. Shaking with fear, I ran as fast as I could, not stopping until I reached the safety of my home. That night, none of us slept a wink, each of us haunted by the image of the ghastly creature and the memory of our harrowing encounter with the ghost of the hanging tree. The haunted painting. When I was 23, I was working at a group home for children with behavioral issues. There was one boy, let's call him David, who was particularly troubled. He had a history of running away from the facility and getting into fights. One night, David told me he wanted to show me something really cool. He led me down a dark hallway, lit only by a flickering neon sign that cast long, menacing shadows on the walls. We stopped in front of a door marked staff only. David pushed the door open with a creak, and inside was a storage room filled with old furniture and junk. He walked to a corner and turned on the light, revealing a large ornate mirror hanging on the wall. He told me it was haunted. He said that when he looked into the mirror, he saw a little girl in a Victorian nightgown and a top hat standing next to him. She was always sad. According to the staff, the girl had died in the home years ago under mysterious circumstances. No one knew why she was in the mirror or why she chose to haunt it. I thought it was just another of David's tall tales. That wasn't until I saw it for myself. I stared into the mirror and there she was, a little girl in the nightgown. I could feel her sadness like a physical presence. It was unsettling, and I quickly looked away. When I glanced back, she was gone. David looked at me knowingly and said, "She likes you." From that day on, I would often sneak into the mirror room to try and catch a glimpse of the girl again, but she never appeared. Some days, though, I would swear I could hear her soft sobs, echoing through the empty halls of the home. One day I asked a colleague about the girl. She told me the home had been built in the early 1900s, and had once been a popular spot for wealthy families to send their children. But in 1918, a fire broke out in the middle of the night. Most of the children perished in the flames. Those who survived suffered severe burns and other injuries. Over the years, rumors swirled about the cause of the fire. Some blamed an electrical short circuit. Others claimed it was arson committed by a disgruntled staff member, but no one knew for sure. My colleague paused, her voice dropping to a whisper. "They say the ghost of that little girl is still searching for her lost siblings. She can never move on because she doesn't know what happened to them." After hearing this, I felt a deep sense of empathy for the girl. I wondered if she could sense my kindness. I continued visiting the mirror room, hoping to connect with her somehow. One afternoon, I brought a bouquet of fresh flowers to the room. As I placed the flowers on the floor in front of the mirror, I could have sworn I saw the little girl's ghost standing behind me. I turned slowly, but of course she wasn't there. I knew then that I had to do more to help her find peace. I researched the history of the home and compiled all the information I could find about the fire and the children who died. I gathered the staff and told them about the girl in the mirror. Together we organized a memorial service in the chapel on the grounds, inviting former staff and residents to pay their respects. On the day of the memorial, a sense of solemnity hung over the group home. Many of the staff and former residents shed tears as they shared their memories of the children lost in the fire. I placed the flowers in front of the mirror and read the names of the dead children, reciting the details I had uncovered about their lives. As I spoke, I felt the little girl's presence growing stronger. I could feel her gratitude and relief. After the ceremony, I noticed a change in the atmosphere of the mirror room. It felt lighter, less heavy with sadness. The ghost of the little girl was finally free. The ritual. One summer night, my friends and I were camping in the Beartooth Wilderness in the early 1990s. We set up camp in a secluded area away from other hikers. Around midnight, I was awoken in my tent to what sounded like screams in the forest. Big guttural screams. Naturally, I was freaked out sitting in a tent, not knowing what was out there. Then I heard what sounded like hail for about 5 minutes, followed by heavy footsteps near our camp. My friends and I started yelling and making tons of noise, and the commotion outside the tent slowly came to a halt. In the morning, after of course not sleeping at all, we unzipped the tent to the creepiest scene. All around the tent were thousands of little pebbles that were not there the evening before, and surrounding the tent in a near-perfect circle were also 20 or so 100 to 100-pound boulders. My friends and I nopeed out of there, making a 2-day hike into one, practically running the entire way to the car. To this day, I have no idea what that was, but I'm pretty sure it was a ritual of some kind. And thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to leave us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.